Good morning and welcome to Ride and Shine Cruising Mornings right here at Greenway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Quintard Avenue in Anniston. We are so happy to have you joining us this morning, Wednesday, March 13th. Is that right? Is that the day? I'm making sure I get my days right. Today is the 13th, Wednesday. So we're so happy to have you joining us this morning. And Wednesdays are Oven Odyssey Day. So we have Chef Dave in the house, cooking up something delicious that already smells so good in the dealership. And Miss Susan Shipman with us too, with Oven Odyssey, the bakeologist there. She brought us something that looks pretty delicious as well. So welcome, Susan.
Thank you so much. Good
How are you? Good to be here too.
Yeah.
I love Wednesdays.
I do.
They're my favorite day. We get to eat together.
Yes.
And there is something to be said about eating, having a meal together and sharing food, because there's so much enjoyment in that.
There is. And, you know, when I was growing up, we were at the table at whatever time Mom said we were at the table, and you didn't miss out on the family meal or you were in trouble.
And we try to continue that with my family. We have meals together, and we unplug. We leave the cell phones in the other room, and we just have a meal together. And like to have conversations and just catch up. No difficult conversation. Just catch up and see how everybody's doing and having that unplugged moment. Now my husband does the cooking though.
Excellent.
I'm not so much of a cook. He loves it.
My husband cooks too. I can cook, but he really doesn't like anything much that I cook, and so I mean, I'm good with that. You know?
Yeah, me too.
It's like, go for it, sweetie.
Sometimes I kind of burn things on accident. Well, I guess
I don't need to ever cook that again, right?
Oops. Yeah. I can. I mean, I have my things that I can cook, but
according to him, right?
Yeah.
Because I can do chili, spaghetti, and hamburgers and French fries. And
there you go.
Okay.
Well, hey, those are some good things. Those are delicious.
Yes.
Some of my favorite things.
And if you want that twice a week, then I'll cook. Otherwise, you're on.
That's it.
Yes.
He got a Blackstone, and he does hibachi for us.
Nice.
So we'll do the rice in the rice cooker, and I don't know what he does from there. I know he cooks the rice, and then he has a process, and then he puts it on the Blackstone. And it's
so
so
like
good.
A whole production.
Oh yeah, he
That's
does.
good.
I don't think he does like the whole like egg throwing and catching it in his hat or the volcano. I told him he needs to work on that volcano because I like that, with the onions
Somebody else's kitchen. Right?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he's got it outside, so
that's good.
it's like a covered area, but he can go out there. So we don't have it as much in the winter, but in summertime we eat hibachi a lot.
And it's going to be warm over the next few days.
Thank goodness. I'm ready.
I am too, and I'm not really sure that's how things are going to work out, but the plum trees are blooming and the blueberries are about to bloom, and I'm just going to be horrified if we have another frost, because that's what happened last year. We had a late frost.
Is that called a blackberry winter? Is that what that is?
Very good.
And that doesn't happen every winter. That's just
it doesn't. And I don't know what the groundhog said, but the fruit trees are saying it's time. So,
yeah.
There you
well,
go.
let's hope that weather will hold up for us. And
I need that. I really do.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I like the warm weather. Yeah, it's harder waking up in the mornings when it's all cold outside.
It is. And you're snuggled and yeah.
Yeah, all my animals are snuggled in. Yeah, they like to snuggle us.
Yes.
It's funny. It's like my husband, one of the animals, me.
I know. It's like you either got to get smaller dogs or a bigger bed.
Yeah, I'll just take the bigger bed.
On the head.
Well, one of my cats likes to sleep right here sometimes, and he's kind of big. I mean, he's like 15 pounds, and he wants to be. Yes, I'm like, okay, you have to get. At first, it's kind of nice because it's cozy and warm, and he's he likes to do that, and then at some point I'm like, okay, you gotta go. It's fun. Well, it's starting to smell good this morning, so I think we're celebrating a little early St. Patrick's Day.
Yes.
Here we have some. Yes, I see some potatoes, and is that corned beef or corn hash?
It's sausage.
We're making
Dublin coddle
this morning.
Dublin coddle.
Sausage, potato stew, basically, and we're adding some cabbage to it.
I love cabbage. I really enjoy stew, especially when we were talking about the weather being all cool when it's cold outside. A nice hot bowl of stew is just the ticket.
Yes, we often have the what's in the refrigerator vegetable stew, and that's a really good way to go too.
Yes.
Super easy, don't waste anything. And
Exactly. Waste not, want not.
that's it. That's it. I was out in the garden yesterday seeing what was still going on, and I have a whole lot of beets in the garden, and not everybody knows that this is a leaf from the beets, and beets are a root crop, and I think my mother liked pickled beets. I'm really not a beet girl. I think it's good for tie-dye and maybe hair color, but I'm not a big beet eater. But the greens are also edible, and so you can saute the beet greens, and those are really nice, and we've still got some really pretty curly mustard in the garden, and the last of the broccoli.
The last of the broccoli.
Today.
Oh, good. So we're going to have broccoli with it as well?
I don't know. That's according to what Chef Dave throws in the pot. We'll find out.
So broccoli in a stew. I don't know that why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
It's green.
It is. Is this the broccoli we had a few weeks ago when he did the caramelized broccoli?
Yes, and these little guys are probably the very last of the shoots on that plant. Once you take the first big globe of broccoli off, then it'll do some smaller shoots around where the big one was. And so the broccoli is, I learned, an indeterminate plant, meaning that it doesn't just do once and then it's done. It continues throughout its growing season to produce more broccoliets.
Okay, and broccoli is that kind of in the winter, so it's a later in the year.
Yes.
What months
or early in the year.
Okay.
It's a spring or winter.
Okay, so broccoli can hang on for a while. It just doesn't like the summer.
It has two different seasons. It does not like hot summer, no.
Yeah.
We had some really, really serious, intense sunshine a lot of days last year, and it just like roasted the green peppers on the plant, and it was hard on the garden. But
yeah, when you're gardening, you really do depend on the weather, unless you're gardening like inside with like lights or something.
Absolutely. Yeah, I happen to have a greenhouse too, and I've got a zillion seeds in dirt, and I'm so excited.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that you made that Facebook post. That's exciting.
It is for me. Some people are like, whatever, but I really enjoy it. It's like a spiritual connection with the dirt.
Yeah, I like it. I enjoy it too. I love plants, and I have a lot of plants.
Great.
And so, I mean, I'll have a garden, like with tomatoes. We do tomatoes every year, and try to do peppers, and but mainly tomatoes. That's kind of just, we don't have a lot of space right now.
Okay.
But my in-laws, they have a great garden.
That is excellent.
Yeah.
You go
the
and pull
best
some
lettuce.
And get to pick some stuff. And
Yeah, I'm always, hey, I'll help. What can I do to help? So I can get those. My mother-in-law cans the green beans, and they are just the absolute best. I love garden green beans that are fresh, and they have lettuce, and that lettuce is so good.
Isn't that lovely?
It's
right
so
from
good.
from the garden. It's awesome. I picked some of the. I have a leaf lettuce. It's a black-seeded Simpson is its name, and picked some of that and made a salad last night. I hadn't had a salad in forever because there's not a decent tomato to be had on the planet, but I had a really nice fresh greens salad last night. It was delightful.
I like a good salad, but I prefer that good lettuce where I know where it's from.
Yes.
I'm not a big fan of fast food salad. I know that's healthy, but I just can't bring myself to it.
I think that they put some chemicals on it to keep it all nice and fresh for you, and we don't really want that.
We don't want that. No, I prefer fresh.
Yes, absolutely.
So, well, it is smelling so good in here. Should we check in over there with Chef Dave and see what he's doing this morning?
Bacon always smells good.
Bacon always, is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Bacon is morning.
Yes, absolutely. So we're starting with about a half pound of bacon. I cut it into 1-inch pieces. We're going to get that kind of crispy. Then we're going to sear up some sausage. In this case, we've got bratwurst. This dish, Dublin Connell, traditionally calls for bangers, which are just a plain pork sausage, like a breakfast sausage. You can substitute anything you want.
What kind of sausage is that?
I'm sorry?
What kind of sausage are you using?
This is bratwurst.
Bratwurst, okay.
So we've got our bacon nice and crispy.
Oh,
in the
yeah.
pan, right?
That makes me smile.
Yes, can we just eat that?
Yeah, really got a piece of bacon.
You can pull that aside, or I'm just going to move it over in the pan and keep going. So we're going to lay the bratwurst in here and let it sear on each side.
Good.
Why not let it, with that bacon and let all of those,
Yes.
Get all those good
Delicious.
flavors getting happy
Yes.
together.
There is a high fat content in today's healthy meal.
Keeps your coat shiny.
Yes,
So we've got some
indeed.
Yukon Gold potatoes that we've cut into medallions. We're going to cut some onions into large pieces. And we're going to cube up some cabbage.
I do love cabbage. Now, do you grow the cabbage in your garden?
Well, I haven't had really good success with cabbage. I think it's like the broccoli, and I don't let it grow long enough. I'm impatient with it, and so I'm not a good cabbage grower.
Okay.
I am growing a Tom Thumb lettuce this year, and it's a little butterhead, and it's just a tiny little butterhead. It's like perfect for one salad, and so we'll see how that works out. Yeah, I've got a whole lot of herbs planted, and so we'll be pulling those out of the garden instead of out of the produce section at the grocery store. So that's super
So all
good.
kinds of herbs. I love rosemary. That's one of my favorites to grow. It smells so good and it's so beautiful. And it is so many uses and so
Nice.
many health benefits.
Yes.
Thyme, that's another one I try to grow, and oregano.
There you go.
So those are the 3 herbs that I try to have going.
Excellent. We've
Yeah.
got some of those, and then we have also got basil and parsley and some onions. I've got some onion seeds in the ground, and I'm working on some asparagus. You can either plant seeds for asparagus or plant the rhizome, like the root for asparagus, and it takes several years for the plants to really develop and give you a lot of. I guess that's why asparagus is so high in the grocery stores, because
It takes a while.
It does.
Can you do your first, was it a yield?
Yeah,
you
you're
can
gonna harvest
Okay.
anyway, but it's just not going to give you much. So over time, that will be stronger and better, and may produce up to 15 years. And so,
Oh, wow.
So that's good. You have to have a permanent spot for that. This is where the asparagus is going to be forever.
Okay, so you have to really,
You have to plan on that and be patient.
yeah, so 15 years.
Yeah,
Really,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, I also planted some rhubarb, and I hadn't even heard of rhubarb until last year, and then I had to do some Googling to figure out what exactly rhubarb is. And it looks like really kind of a pink celery, and it's sweet. And,
Like rhubarb pie.
Yes, exactly.
Are you going to make a rhubarb
I
pie?
am.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to
Yes,
that.
indeed. Rhubarb and raspberry, probably. I've got some new raspberry is described as an I can't remember the word. An invasive plant, that it will keep coming up everywhere. You know, I'm okay with that.
Sure.
I don't really know that you could have too many raspberry plants.
I'm okay
but
with that too.
I think I said that about the bamboo too, but the bamboo is a different thing. It's really not useful for anything except for bean poles, blue-legged bean poles.
So do you have bamboo?
We do.
Okay.
Yes, and there's more of that than we thought there was ever going to be. But that's okay,
Oh, do we?
right?
Oh, I guess so. So that's a.
It's everywhere. Yes.
Oh, that didn't take long for those bratwursts.
Not long at all. So our bratwurst are just seared. They're not cooked yet. We're searing them, and traditionally, this is done just by boiling the sausage. This
I love
dish
the
came
seared.
about. Let me not burn my bacon grease. This dish came about in Dublin as farmers moved into the city to find work during the famine of the 1700s. And the traditional stew is made with mutton because
We
sheep
learned
are
about mutton.
more plentiful.
Well, hey,
in
Chef,
Ireland.
we want to hear about that, but we've got to take a quick break. So when we get back, we definitely want to hear about how this stew came about. So we want to hear the history behind the stew. But right now, we're going to go check in with your local area weather with Lacey Clients and hear a few words from some of our additional sponsors. And we want to thank Joe Bell Coffee and Dunkin' Donuts. And we'll be right back. You're watching Ride and Shine Cruising Mornings at Greenway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Good morning, everyone. It is going to be gorgeous outside today. The temperature is getting up to 75 degrees and we'll have no chance of rain. Tomorrow it's going to get up to 79 degrees and again with no chance of rain. But on Friday, the high is only going to be 72 degrees and we are going to have an 80% chance of showers. So everyone enjoy these next couple of days. I'm Lacey Clients with your TV24 weather.
Hey everyone, I am here with Ed Pyle, General Manager
at Greenway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Ed, why should someone stop by here when they are looking to make a car purchase?
To give us the opportunity to show you the new management team here at Greenway, and also give you the opportunity to meet some of the sales associates that we have, experience maybe something with the service department. Also, we have a large parts department. We have a lot of different things here at Greenway that we can offer. Come see us today at Greenway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Parents, I have something that'll teach your child how to follow directions and finish what they start. I'm talking about STEM. That's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Now we're having a free STEM extravaganza on Saturday, April 20th at the City Meeting Center in Anniston. Registration is free at academics.com. It's going to be STEM-tastic.
At Campers Unlimited, we offer a no-pressure experience, no hidden fees, and great service after the sale, making us one of the fastest-growing RV dealers in the Southeast. With our second location in Oxford, we offer a great selection of over 220 campers from top brands, including Grand Design. Our mission is to help friends and family spend time together in the great outdoors. At Campers Unlimited, you aren't just a customer, you are family. Check out our inventory at campersunlimited.net or come see us at Gaston or Oxford.
Hey everybody, this is Roper & Son Septic Service. I'm Ashley Roper, this is my dad Dwight Roper, and this is Mr. Phil Wiggins. And we're licensed and insured for pumping and for installing. If you can't use, you can. Let Ashley Roper be your septic tank man. Y'all have a blessed day.
I'm Lacey Klontz with your WEAC TV24 and the Mountain 95 Second News Update. On Tuesday, a press release was issued from Calhoun County Sheriff Matthew Wade of 2 unresponsive inmates at the Calhoun County Jail on March 11th. Per the Calhoun Journal, the first inmate was found unresponsive in a general population section of the jail due to a suspected drug overdose. The inmate was given first aid, then taken to Northeast Alabama Regional Medical Center. This inmate was treated, released, and placed in a medical section for observation. A small amount of a powdery substance was found in the section where the inmate was located. It will be sent to a laboratory for identification. The next inmate, later that same day, was discovered by correctional officers in the same general population section during dinner feeding. The inmate, Michael Swink, a 40-year-old black male from Anniston, was discovered unconscious and not breathing. Life-saving measures were taken immediately, including CPR, an AED, and Narcan, but none of these worked. Swink was pronounced deceased by EMS. There will be an ongoing investigation into this, and the findings will be presented to the district attorney. The Anniston Fire Department responded to a fire on Coldwater Mountain yesterday. Units were on site to monitor and manage the situation. The incident, which was reported earlier Tuesday, is under control as the firefighting teams work to ensure the safety of the area. In a statement released by the Anniston Fire Department, officials confirmed that Forestry Service personnel were on the scene, taking necessary measures to cut fire breaks and prevent the further spread of the flames. The situation, while under control, remains closely monitored by the firefighting teams. And in sports, former Gamecocks head baseball coach Jim Case will join the legendary Eli Gold in the broadcast booth this evening as the Gamecocks play host to the UAB Blazers. Jack State Athletics Director Greg States announced last Thursday that Eli Gold will provide play-by-play on many of the Gamecocks ESPN Plus broadcasts for the rest of this season. First pitch is at 6 o'clock and can be seen on ESPN Plus. General admission tickets are available. Tune in to WEAC TV24 tonight for more local news at 5. For WEAC TV24 and the Mountain 95.1, I'm Lacey Klontz.
Welcome back to Ride and Shine Cruising Mornings at Greenway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram right here on Quintard Avenue in Anniston. It is Wednesday morning. That means it is Oven Odyssey Day. And we have Chef Dave in the house cooking up some Dublin caudal. And Miss Susan Shipman, and she's got some deliciousness to share with us this morning as well. So, Chef, before we went to break, you were telling us a little bit of the history behind the Dublin caudal. So, please, take it away.
Absolutely. So, as people moved into Dublin out of the farms and fields, they carried the recipes with them, but the traditional mutton that they would do in this stew wasn't available. Sausage was cheap and plentiful because they butcher the hog, and what was left they make sausage out of it, so that's where we're at. So we've browned our bacon, we have seared our sausage, in this case bratwurst. So now we're going to layer this stew into the pot. You can do this in a steel pot like we're doing today. You can do it in a crock pot. You can do it in a Dutch oven in the oven. A lot of different ways you can do this. It's really a very easy dish. So we've got the pot. We kept the drippings from the bacon and the sausage, and we're going to layer in about half of the potatoes. This is about 2 pounds of sliced Yukon Gold potatoes. So we're going to layer about half of those in there. About half of our onions that we've rough chopped into big pieces. This is a quarter head of cabbage. I'm going to put half of that in there. Half of the bacon that I pulled out of the pan.
Bacon!
We start it crispy because this is going to stew for a couple of hours to really get that happy flavor going. So you can put it in the crock pot in the morning, go to work, come home, dinner's ready. Super easy.
I do like the convenience of a crock pot.
Absolutely.
And then once we've done that, we go back again with the potatoes, the onions, the cabbage.
So you're layering. What's the benefit to layering? Would you do this in the crock pot as well, or would you just layer?
You know, I didn't stir this much. I cooked a batch last night, and I just kind of let it get happy and sit in the pot. And it did great. And then we're going to float the sausage on top of it in the end. So the onions, the cabbage, the potatoes, the rest
There
of
goes
the
the
bacon.
bacon.
We didn't get to have any bacon.
We didn't.
I like garlic. We'll put some garlic in there. 4 cups of beef broth or stock. You can use chicken broth.
Vegetable?
You could.
I think I would go beef or vegetable. I don't know. The chicken, what's the difference between that? Like utilizing the...
Gosh, there's really
It's just
not
a kind
whole
of a
lot.
flavor
Is there not?
difference.
Yeah,
I think with these flavors, I think I would prefer the
I
beef.
think the beef, yeah.
The beef worked really well. So, and then traditionally the sausages are just in the stew whole. I like little pieces of sausage. We're cutting some medallions here.
If you're going to eat a soup, it's a little easier to have the medallions than it is a whole sausage.
So the dish came about as the wives would prepare it when the husbands went to the pub. And it's a slow cook and it can sit on the stove, and then when they got home, dinner was ready
Whenever they got home.
whenever they got home. And the wives went to sleep. Don't think that would fly today.
It smells so
It
good.
is nice.
The brats turned out really nice in this. I think I like a little more flavor in my sausage. Nice Kaneka or andouille sausage would be cool in this. Non-traditional, but it's a stew. Stews are whatever's left in the fridge, we put in the pot.
Put some broth with it and
Yep.
throw it in there.
Call
And
it
that's that.
done.
And there's so many health benefits to stew besides just having like it's such a comfort food, especially
Yes.
in the when it's cold outside or when you're not feeling well. A stew is a comfort food, but it's got a lot of health benefits as well.
Not this one so much.
There's something green in there.
It's got
Yeah, there's
some garlic
green in
and some
there.
green, yeah.
I'm careful with the salt in this dish because beef broth has a lot of salt in it. But the potatoes suck all that up, so we're going to add a little salt. Add a little fresh ground pepper.
That's such a nice thing to have handy as a fresh ground pepper.
Absolutely, the pepper grinder is really nice. Any kind of spice grinder is nice as well if the spice is not already ground, because it holds that in until you grate it, until you grind it, holds its flavor.
A little rosemary to this. Fresh is even better. We've got some bay leaves. A friend had a bay leaf or a bay tree in his yard, and he showed up at the farmer's market with a
Stalks.
8-foot branch of bay.
Yes.
Wow.
And he said, "Would anybody like this?" I said, "Absolutely."
That was a great
So
day.
We have bay leaves
So
for you.
lovely.
So we've got salt, pepper, rosemary, bay leaves, garlic, a little fresh parsley. Both for, a lot of times we think parsley just for color. It adds flavor. Got that going, and you're going to look at this and go, well, Dave, that's too dry. It needs more stock. It's going to cook down. So once everything starts to happen, kind of like when you're cooking greens, you've got this big pot of greens with a little liquid in it. In an hour or two, everything's submerged and it's doing great.
You know, something that you said about salt and potatoes, if you were to cook something and you have too much salt in it, then if you'll cut a potato in half and slip it into whatever you got too much salt in, the potato's going to suck that out for you. So like you made green beans and they're too salty, poke a potato in there and it's going to fix that for you.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's definitely something to know, because sometimes I can get a little salt heavy and then regret it.
Yeah, and
So-
you know, something that you cooked the day before and you're eating again, sometimes it will, be saltier than it was the first time. And so that's a good thing to have and a good thing to know.
We've got some beautiful greens from the garden.
Yay.
This is mustard greens. Sue?
Those are curly mustard, and there's also the ones that have the little pink streak in them, the flat ones, those are beets. And the leaves on the beet plant are just as edible as the root.
And they smell fantastic.
Yes, and yes, I washed those, so they're ready to go in your pot.
So while we have them, we might as well throw them in the pot. So we're going to chop that up.
Because again, with a stew, you can clean out the fridge and throw it all in. Are you going to put the broccoli in there too?
Why not? We've got a little
Why
broccoli
not?
Yes,
left.
why not?
The last of the broccoli.
Probably the last of the broccoli for this time around.
Toss that in there. We're going to add a little butter to this dish, just to kind of
Why
cream it
not?
out.
Because there's not enough fat in the bacon and the sausage.
You need more fat.
Might as well if you're going to do it.
It's a little butter.
Absolutely. And everything's there. We're going to cover it up, bring it up to almost to a boil, and then turn it down to a simmer. Coddle means to coddle an egg. You cook it just below boiling. So this is a simmer dish. We're going to set it to simmer. We're going to let it ride for a couple of hours. It's going to be fantastic. Through the magic of television, we happen to have another batch that's ready that we'll be eating today. And that's pretty much it. That's kind of a set it or forget it dish. And
That's really easy.
You're
So
there.
with the liquid, you were saying it does cook down, but there's still plenty of liquid to have does the liquid cook down? Is that what you were
the
saying?
liquid, it will cook down a little bit. I will add a cup of water or two as it goes.
Oh, you
it
will?
doesn't need to be covered in liquid right now.
The potatoes and onions have got liquid in them also,
Right.
and so
So they're releasing all that as they stew and they're steam, and make sure you keep a lid on it, and everything on top is going to steam. So that sausage is on top. The steam's going to finish cooking that sausage, and then toward the end, everything's going to be in the simmer and will be submerged.
So that's the Dublin Caudle.
There you
Dublin
go.
Caudle.
There you have it.
Well, it smells so good, and I'm looking forward to trying it out. So let's take a quick break so we can get that stew over to the table and give it a try. So stay tuned, and you can find out how delicious that Dublin stew is, Dublin Caudle. And yeah, so we'll be right back. You're watching Ride and Shine Cruising Mornings right here at Greenway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Stay tuned.
Good morning, everyone. It is going to be gorgeous outside today. The temperature is getting up to 75 degrees and we'll have no chance of rain. Tomorrow it's going to get up to 79 degrees and again with no chance of rain. But on Friday, the high is only going to be 72 degrees and we are going to have an 80% chance of showers. So everyone enjoy these next couple of days. I'm Lacey Clance with your TV24 weather.
Hey everyone, I am here with Ed Pyle, General Manager at Greenway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Ed, why should someone stop by here when they are looking to make a car purchase?
To give us the opportunity to show you the new management team here at Greenway, and also give you the opportunity to meet some of the sales associates that we have. Experience maybe something with the service department. Also, we have a large parts department. We have a lot of different things here at Greenway that we can offer. Come see us today at Greenway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Hi, Jake, Regional Vice President of LSI Staffing. LSI Staffing is a privately owned and family-operated business that was established in 1986. We specialize in commercial, light industrial staffing, warehouse, manufacturing, production, and assembly. If you're a company in the area looking for a new staffing partner, we'd love to talk to you. If you're an employee looking for a great job that offers benefits day one and competitive pay, come see us. Once again, you can find us at www.lsistaffing.com.
You need strength, resilience, and hope to face life challenges. And I found all three at Gaston State Community College. I'm Jada Pickens, an office administration student at Gaston State's Ayers campus in Anniston. Along with attending classes, I work full-time. Life is very demanding. There's a real sense of support at Gaston State. The faculty and staff care about us as individuals and want us to thrive in the classroom and in life. Thank you, Gaston State, for giving me the wings to fly to new, unexpected heights.
I'm Lacey Clance with your WEAC TV24 and the Mountain 95 second news update. On Tuesday, a press release was issued from Calhoun County Sheriff Matthew Wade of two unresponsive inmates at the Calhoun County Jail on March 11th. Per the Calhoun Journal, the first inmate was found unresponsive in a general population section of the jail due to a suspected drug overdose. The inmate was given first aid, then taken to Northeast Alabama Regional Medical Center. This inmate was treated, released, and placed in a medical section for observation. A small amount of a powdery substance was found in the section where the inmate was located. It will be sent to a laboratory for identification. The next inmate, later that same day, was discovered by correctional officers in the same general population section during dinner feeding. The inmate, Michael Swink, a 40-year-old black male from Anniston, was discovered unconscious and not breathing. Life-saving measures were taken immediately, including CPR, an AED, and Narcan, but none of these worked. Swink was pronounced deceased by EMS. There will be an ongoing investigation into this, and the findings will be presented presented to the district attorney. The Anniston Fire Department responded to a fire on Coldwater Mountain yesterday. Units were on site to monitor and manage the situation. The incident, which was reported earlier Tuesday, is under control as the firefighting teams work to ensure the safety of the area. In a statement released by the Anniston Fire Department, officials confirmed that Forestry Service personnel were on the scene, taking necessary measures to cut fire breaks and prevent the further spread of the flames. The situation, while under control, remains closely monitored by the firefighting teams. And in sports, former Gamecocks head baseball coach Jim Case will join the legendary Eli Gold in the broadcast booth this evening as the Gamecocks play host to the UAB Blazers. Jack State Athletics Director Greg States announced last Thursday that Eli Gold will provide play-by-play on many of the Gamecocks ESPN Plus broadcasts for the rest of this season. First pitch is at 6 o'clock and can be seen on ESPN Plus. General admission tickets are available. Tune in to WEAC TV 24 tonight for more local news at 5. For WEAC TV 24 and the Mountain 95.1, I'm Lacey Klontz.
Well, I think somebody else should host so I can finish eating this coddle because this is so delicious. Welcome back to Ride and Shine Cruising Mornings right here at Greenway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Quintard Avenue in Anniston, where we come to you live every weekday morning at 7:30. Thank you for tuning in. Today is Oven Odyssey. Every Wednesday gets to be Oven Odyssey, and this is slowly becoming or quickly becoming my favorite day here on the show. We are now enjoying this Dublin coddle in honor of St. Patrick's Day coming up this weekend. So this is delicious. And how long did you let this sit? So this is one that you brought. Now we have the other pot that's hanging out over there.
Simmering over there. So this simmered for about 2 hours, and that was enough, good enough. On a lower heat in a crock pot, you could do it for 6 to 8. Set it on low, go to work, let it rock all day. It's going to be great.
It is delicious. So we were talking about earlier about how do you, one of the reasons why I don't always cook often, besides my husband's really good at it, is that I can't ever decide what to cook. So how do you decide? Do you base it on ingredients that you find or that you have, or what is your inspiration?
I'll start with a protein. I'll shop, I'll find a protein I like. I think, what can I do with this? I'll find ingredients that'll pair well with that, and then come up with a dish to go along with that. Stews are so versatile. You can do anything with stew. Stew by itself is just what you got in the fridge. You throw it in a pot, you let it cook for a long time, and it turns out great. And stew's a great way to use less expensive cuts of meat and get a better product out of it.
Yeah.
It's slow cooking is king. That's why we smoke meats. That's why we stew meats. It turns a less appealing cut that may have a little more fat in it or a little more marbling in it into something that's going to be flavorful and tender, and the longer it cooks, the more tender it gets. This is a great example of that. About 30 minutes into its simmer, the sausage was just kind of gritty and overwhelming, and then as it sat there longer and through a couple of hours, everything mellowed and the flavors blended, and it turned out really nice. So the great thing about stews are you can start them in a crock pot, go to work, do your thing, come home, dinner's ready, and it's easy. And while you're at it, you get rid of all those extra vegetables that are in your fridge. That if you're like me, when I'm in the grocery store, I'm very excited about what I might cook with all these things, and then I take them home and sit them in the fridge and they die.
No,
so
we don't want that.
It's a great way to chop all that stuff up, throw it in a pot, make a soup, make a stew, and use that food. And not as expensive as everything has become now.
Yeah.
That's a big priority to make sure we're not wasting that. This dish, we might have $20 in it.
Wow.
And it's enough food for at least six meals, maybe more.
And you didn't use all the potatoes that came in the bag or all the onions that came in the bag or anything like that. If you have staples in your kitchen, like like potatoes and onions, then you have something to start with. And potatoes and onions keep longer than bell peppers or those kind of things. And so, fashioning a meal around potatoes and onions is a really good place to start. And we can have at our house spaghetti one night, that the next night is something different, and by the end of the week is an interesting potpourri of whatever we've had to eat that
Baked
week.
goodness.
And,
Yes.
just you just put it all in there and see what happens.
I think often we're so busy, as we were talking before the show this morning about our busy schedules, and
Sure.
and didn't get home till 9 or 10 or later, and sometimes cooking seems so overwhelming, and we think, well, I'm just going to hit that drive-through.
Yeah.
The 15 minutes it takes me to get to the drive-through, the 10 minutes I sit in the drive-through, I can make my own meal or make meal for the family in 20, 30 minutes, and spend another 15 minutes on it and just cook it and have great food and have leftovers and save all that money and have something healthy for you, something good for you. If you want to eat healthy, stay out of the middle of the grocery store.
I've heard that before. So work the perimeter. So
Absolutely.
the fresh fruits and vegetables
Produce,
and
the meat, the fresh veggies, fresh dairy products.
Not all the processed.
Stay out of the box. So if you're not eating food out of a box, you're not eating food out of a drive-through, you're going to be healthier, you're going to be happier, and
you're going to feel better.
And you're going to feel better, and save money.
And that's a key, because it is so expensive. Yes, it's convenient to run through a drive-through, but again, it's not healthy for you, and it's expensive. It's actually more expensive, I think, than to go through the drive-through than to go and just get some groceries.
Absolutely, especially for the family. I mean, it's $15 a head in the drive-through.
Yeah, and I've got big boys too that like to eat a lot.
Right.
So I mean, if we'll go through for a family meal through a drive-through, you're looking at $50, easy.
Easy.
Isn't that frightening? Just to think that now a hamburger's cost you that much money? Hamburger and fries.
A lot of places do veterans discounts, so we appreciate that. And with my husband being a veteran, he'll do veteran, but still, even with that, we're looking at $50. Or we could go to the grocery store and spend $50 and then make meals for a
week,
few nights.
probably.
Especially now that I know a secret to the stew.
Yes.
Now tell me about the broth. Do you make your own broth, or do you buy the broth? Because that is in the center of the grocery store.
That's a good question. In the restaurant, I make my own broth.
Okay.
Because of the quantities of meat that I'm cutting, and whether it's meat or seafood or chicken or veggies, there are all these scraps that are just going to go in the trash can, and it's so much better than a broth or stock that you can get out of a box. In this case, yes, that's a boxed beef broth. But preferably, I'm taking those, in the restaurant, I'll cut a couple of ribeye loins, I'll cut a couple of tenderloins, all those scraps are going in a pot, all the vegetable scraps, the celery, the carrots, the onions, anything. Throw in the pot with that, add water, simmer it slowly all day long, and I'll have a great broth that I can use for the rest of the week. Chicken the same way. I save shrimp shells and make a seafood stock.
How do you do that? So you use the shells and water and vegetables? Is that how you make a seafood stock?
Typically, yes. So with the seafood stock, I usually don't add veggies.
Okay.
I just do the shells. But I'll save the shells and freeze them, for a week or two until I have enough to do a broth or stock, and then I'll throw in a pot and cook it down, and then you let it simmer for hours and hours. The water drops, it evaporates, the stock gets stronger and stronger. You can always add liquid to it, and I don't season those stocks so that when I cook with them, I don't have to think, well, there's already salt in this, there's already this and that. And
Gotcha.
I can season the dish I'm cooking.
So you don't season the stocks when you're making them. That way, when you season with whatever you're cooking or putting in the stock or with
Intentional.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And if you're at home and you're thinking, well, I don't have enough scraps to do that, just freeze them. Throw them in a Ziploc bag, throw them in the freezer. When you get enough,
Accumulate,
you
yeah.
accumulate,
Sure.
then you make the stock. And then I'll freeze broth too. After I make stock, we've got some fantastic turkey stock.
Oh, nice.
We do, yes.
From Thanksgiving?
Yep. And
And that's such a great way. Oh, Kip's got a question. Come over here, Kip.
How long would it take if you put stew or vegetable soup in the refrigerator? You know, how long will it last? It would last.
How long will it, Kip's question just in case is how long will it last if you put soup in the fridge?
Depends on what you're starting.
But you could,
A good rule of thumb for any cooked food is a week.
Okay.
You know, some things, dressings will last a little longer. It just depends. That's a good rule of thumb. If you can't eat it in a week, throw it in the freezer.
But yeah, you can freeze it. So if you can't, you can absolutely freeze it. And that's a great thing with the beef broth. And I didn't even realize, because I don't do a compost. I've always been interested in it, but I don't really have a space to compost. And so that's what I've always, throwing away all of those little pieces, it just feels so wasteful. Well, hey, we've got to take a quick break right now. And when we get back, we're going to dive into what this deliciousness that Miss Susan brought to us. So stay tuned. You're watching Ride and Shine, Cruising Mornings right here at Greenway, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We'll be right back.
Good morning, everyone. It is going to be gorgeous outside today. The temperature is getting up to 75 degrees and we'll have no chance of rain. Tomorrow it's going to get up to 79 degrees and again with no chance of rain. But on Friday, the high is only going to be 72 degrees and we are going to have an 80% chance of showers. So everyone enjoy these next couple of days. I'm Lacey Clance with your TV24 weather.
Hey everyone, I am here with Ed Pyle, General Manager at Greenway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. Ed, why should someone stop by here when they are looking to make a car purchase?
To give us the opportunity to show you the new management team here at Greenway, and also give you the opportunity to meet some of the sales associates that we have. Experience maybe something with the service department. Also, we have a large parts department. We have a lot of different things here at Greenway that we can offer. Come see us today at Greenway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Gardens on Air is a unique farm right here in East Central Alabama, family owned and operated since 2010. It is the state's largest indoor hydroponic farm. Gardens on Air's goal is to feed, educate, and be immersed in the community they are located in. They want to teach people what it truly means to eat local and support local. Gardens on Air, located in Hopes Bluff, Alabama.
What's going on, everybody? Scoot from Hooligan Harley, your one-stop shop for all your motorcycle needs, ranging anywhere from our new and pre-owned motorcycle inventory, all the parts and accessories you could ever ask for in our parts department, all the gear you could ever need while riding in our motor clothes department, and of course our award-winning service department. Don't forget to check out our events tab on our website to keep up with everything we got going on. And remember, guys, if nobody has it, Hooligan has it. I'll see you soon.
Barrett Body Shop has been providing honest and quality collision repair services to the residents of Calhoun County since the year 2000. We take great pride in the quality of the work we produce and go the extra mile to ensure quality and safety of the repair work on your vehicle. With over 40 years of experience, Philip Barrett and our staff will restore your vehicle to its pre-accident condition while working with your insurance provider and helping you every step of the way. Barrett Body Shop is a strong supporter of many churches, schools, and youth activities. We consider it an honor to give back to our community and maintain a relationship with our customers. Come and let us provide you with a free estimate today.
I'm Lacey Clance with your WEAC TV24 and the Mountain 95 Second News Update. On Tuesday, a press release was issued from Calhoun County Sheriff Matthew Wade of 2 unresponsive inmates at the Calhoun County Jail on March 11th. Per the Calhoun Journal, the first inmate was found unresponsive in a general population section of the jail due to a suspected drug overdose. The inmate was given first aid, then taken to Northeast Alabama Regional Medical Center. This inmate was treated, released, and placed in a medical section section for observation. A small amount of a powdery substance was found in the section where the inmate was located. It will be sent to a laboratory for identification. The next inmate, later that same day, was discovered by correctional officers in the same general population section during dinner feeding. The inmate, Michael Swink, a 40-year-old black male from Anniston, was discovered unconscious and not breathing. Life-saving measures were taken immediately, including CPR, an AED, and Narcan, but none of these worked. Swink was pronounced deceased by EMS. There will be an ongoing investigation into this, and the findings will be presented to the district attorney. The Anniston Fire Department responded to a fire on Coldwater Mountain yesterday. Units were on site to monitor and manage the situation. The incident, which was reported earlier Tuesday, is under control as the firefighting teams work to ensure the safety of the area. In a statement released by the Anniston Fire Department, officials confirmed that Forestry Service personnel were on the scene, taking necessary measures to cut fire breaks and prevent the further spread of the flames. The situation, while under control, remains closely monitored by the firefighting teams. And in sports, former Gamecocks head baseball coach Jim Case will join the legendary Eli Gold in the broadcast booth this evening as the Gamecocks play host to the UAB Blazers. Jack State Athletics Director Greg States announced last Thursday that Eli Gold will provide play-by-play on many of the Gamecocks' ESPN Plus broadcasts for the rest of this season. First pitch is at 6 o'clock and can be seen on ESPN Plus. General admission tickets are available. Tune in to WEAC TV24 tonight for more local news at 5. For WEAC TV24 and the Mountain 95.1, I'm Lacey Klontz.
Welcome back to Ride and Shine Cruising Mornings right here at Greenway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram on Quintard Avenue in Anniston. We invite you out to come do some car shopping today. If you're in the market for a new or a pre-owned vehicle, make sure to come visit. Also keep in mind those service specials. We have buy 3 tires, get 1 free, and also 50% off of your check engine light diagnosis, or diagnostics. So if you have a need for service, we are here to help. So again, we have Chef Dave and Miss Susan here in the house, and we just enjoyed some delicious caudal. Don't throw my bowl away. I might want another.
Exactly.
I might want another.
Exactly.
Another little taste of it. It was absolutely delicious, and we learned this morning about stews and how easy stews are, and also one of the benefits is not wasting things. So if you have things that are kind of not real sure in the refrigerator, they might have another day of life in them.
Less than fresh.
Less than fresh. There you go. Throw them in a pot and put some beef broth or chicken broth or vegetable broth, whatever you choose, or seafood broth, and mix it all up. So Miss Susan, you have a sweet treat for us today.
I do. We are having this white cake that's got some green in it too. We seem to have a clog here.
How do you do to get a clog?
You take it off and put a different one on.
Oh, there you go.
The whole thing.
And we're doing a St. Patty's Day celebration today. We've got the Dublin caudal, and also this little cake might have a little green surprise in it, huh?
It does indeed have a little green surprise. Yes, thank you. If you're ever going to make cakes more than 3 in your lifetime, investing in this little frosting spatula and these little tips and bags, and then the Lazy Susan, it just makes your life so much easier in doing this whole cake thing, and it might cost you $12, and so I recommend going ahead and investing in these pieces.
3 more
to do your
cakes
thing.
than I've ever made.
You're not the baker. You leave the
Okay, so
bacon
you don't
to
need
Miss Susan.
these things.
I have you.
Especially not the Lazy Susan thing.
I have you.
So we're just going to splooge this on here because we're going to smear it out. And I learned about a crumb coat on a cake just recently. You would think with all the, it's like, don't jump directly to the recipe. Read the stuff in between because it taught me about this crumb coat. You put a light coat on the cake first. If you're frosting a dark cake with a white frosting, you're gonna get little bitty crumbly things in there. And so if you put on the crumb coat first, then that's where it's going to go. Then you're going to put another layer of frosting on top of that is going to take care of that. You're not going to have the crumbs in it because they are under that first layer of frosting. And there is no magic to this. It's just about you want your frosting not to be so thick that you can't spread it, because that's useless, and the crumb coat will not help you there. You're going to make a big old mess, and let it sit out of the refrigerator to get to room temperature, and then just jump right in. And I always make more frosting than I think it's going to require, because it always takes more frosting than I make. So, you don't want to start over, especially if it's a color, because you'll never get the color the same again. Never's really a long time, but it's doubtful that you will ever accomplish the color the same. And so, you can putz around with this for as long as you want to. I'm saying that's done.
I think it's done.
I don't think extra frosting is a bad thing.
Exactly. I don't think if you complain about extra frosting, then you probably just don't need to eat the cake.
There you go. I think you're exactly right. I've never complained about extra frosting. I was speaking with a girlfriend yesterday about the Chocolate Festival in Mobile. It's a fundraiser that's done for one of the domestic violence programs in the state of Alabama, Penelope House. And who would not want to go to a chocolate festival?
Oh, right? I am there.
So I'm all in next year. I'm making the plan. It's kind
if
of
you need a helper.
Yes,
I'll come along.
Absolutely, because
book the rooms. Let's do it.
Right,
yes, we'll work for chocolate.
Festival. We'll absolutely work for chocolate.
We have our friends in from TV24. Of course, we saw Kip, and we also have Roger came by, and we want to invite you on Wednesday mornings or any morning. Come by, hang out with us, pick up some tips. I'm learning some things. I'm actually going to put into effect in my kitchen. So you hear that, husband? I'm gonna cook for you.
Hey, hon, I'm cooking for you. Maybe not tonight.
Maybe not tonight. It's gonna be a long day, or maybe so. But I'm so excited to try this.
Okay,
so
we're ready.
Let's go. Cut into it, because we only have a few more minutes of the show left. So we want to see how beautiful the inside of this cake is. So do the honors.
Take it off of the. No, I'll just
we'll move this so that they can see it.
Mess.
There you go.
And when you're cutting a cake, it's a personal preference if we want to make this in wedges, or if we want to go ahead and make the first cut and then cut this way, so that you're going to get I don't know, somebody gets the piece with all the great frosting on it, and then there are inside pieces. That doesn't work very well with a 6-inch cake, but I saw Granny do it with a regular 8 or 9-inch cake, and it works really well with the round cake making square pieces. Shut up and slice the cake.
Shut up and slice.
I see the green.
Yeah, there you go.
I see the green.
I wasn't sure if this was the green that I was going to land on, but this is where we are. And,
let's see.
And so we get the plate closer.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look how beautiful that is.
Isn't that awesome?
Look at that. Happy St. Patty's Day.
Indeed.
Wow.
Lovely. All right, Raj.
Roger, come on. We know you want to.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
We'll have to take Todd back some. He's watching right now.
Wow.
Oh goodness.
Kip needs cake.
Kip needs cake.
Turn that around and let them see that inside. Look at that. How beautiful.
Isn't that a nice
And this
green?
is a 3-layer.
Yes, absolutely.
Why 3-layer cake?
When you can have 3.
Right, exactly.
Yes.
Oh, let's give it a try.
Dave.
Like we need more plates.
We need more plates.
I love Wednesdays.
Yes, indeedy.
Y'all, and are you going to post the recipe for this?
Absolutely.
Okay, so you will be able to find the recipe for both the Dublin Caudle and this beautiful cake. What do you call it? The St. Patty's Day cake.
The St. Patty's Day cake.
The St. Patty's Day cake on the Oven Odyssey Facebook, and we'll make sure to share it as well on our WEAC TV24 Facebook page. So make sure to share this if you know anybody who's interested in learning all about making stews and making cakes. Make sure to share it and invite your friends and family to also watch. We're going to turn that around so they can see that. to watch Oven Odyssey Wednesdays right here on Ride and Shine. Again, we invite you to come out and hang out with us any morning. If you're interested in being a guest, please reach out to us, Courtney at TV24.tv. Also, just stop by the dealership. If you're in the market for a car, we invite you to come by. All right, so I guess that's it for Wednesday. Thank you all again for being here every Wednesday, my favorite day.
It's our pleasure.
Yes, so we wish you all a really great day. And we look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow. We've got our friends from Gadsden State in as guests. So see you tomorrow. Again, have a great day. You're watching Ride and Shine Cruising Mornings at Greenway Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.